Yeah. Yo. How you doing? Happy Mothering Sunday to all of you. Happy Mothering Sunday to all of you. This is Courtney Winston, Black Car Speakers Lounge, Black Film Institute. Yes, we're here again. Yes, good to see ya. Good to see ya. Yeah, that's Lee Lex. Join. First person. Become Bukola. Second person. Waving my hand. How's everyone doing? How's everyone keeping this Sunday? Listen, we're going to get straight into it. Our topic, boy, it's been a fat week, innit? It's been a serious week, eh? Who watched the Oprah Winfrey interview with, I think everyone watched it, but who watched it? The one with Harry and Meghan. Who watched that? Put your hand up, we watched it. I watched it, not in its entirety, but I watched enough. And yeah, it made me think that we need to do something on this whole racism thing, because at the end of the day, he who feels it or she who feels it knows it. She or he who feels it knows it. And obviously we as a community, we've suffered with this wicked, sick, psychopathic mind state known as racism. So I'm going to be bringing you in. Yeah, it was mad. But to be honest with you, I wasn't shocked. I wasn't surprised that, allegations of racism in the royal family. If you know the history of the royal family, then boom. We're going to go into that today anyway, because are we being emotional when we're saying this one's racist, that institution's racist, or are we trying to point out towards something that we've been suffering with for years? So, also in the news, the lady who was kidnapped and found murdered, there was a big march, rally, a vigil that was held for her in Clapham. And we want to talk about how we can best protect women, man, and how women can be more protected in this society today. And, with things like social media and all that, what's social media doing about protecting you, the women who are sacred and valuable? Once again, I want to say happy Mother's Day to all the mothers out there, all the good mothers out there. Send your request to be a part of the life. I want to hear from you. I want to hear from the poets. I want to hear from the females. So the first female we're going to bring on, she's a filmmaker. She is a screenwriter, and she's been on our live with us last year, and she's going to talk about a little bit about a film that she's piecing together. Welcome everyone. And she's looking to get crowdfunding to do it. It's a very good point together. And so we're going to talk about racism, we're going to talk about Mother's Day, we're going to talk about valuing and protecting our women, that Harry and Meghan thing that was going on, how it affects us. Let me welcome Bukola. Bukola, how you doing?
Hi everybody, what's going on? Hi Courtney.
Hey, happy Mother's Day, Queen.
Thank you so much. I'm actually at my grandma's house with my mother, grandma, and my auntie and my sister celebrating. So I just popped out of the house just in case the network isn't too good in there. So I thought I'll come out here to do it and hopefully get back to the family, because it's one of those days.
I'm about 3 minutes late because guess what? I spilled me coffee on the ground, didn't it? I had to go and quickly make another one, innit, mate? Got to get Yorkie coffee in it. Yorkie, and it's just the cups, not Yorkie coffee, but yeah, it is what it is.
That's all good. I said that's all good. We're here now.
It's all good. We're here. We're gonna try and keep it sweet and beautiful and short, because we know it's Mothering Sunday, and my mother said, "Can't no bother with no flowers, because every day is Mother's Day." And my mom said, "Mommy, it's all right, Mom."
You know what? I actually tried to get the flowers. I went into Sainsbury's and they were all out. No flowers, no cards, because that's probably all most people can get, because everything's locked off. So yeah. Yeah,
but the most important thing we can do is spend time with our parents, because time is important. So, sister, I know our subject is what is racism, but you know what? Please tell us a little bit about you and what is it that you are currently in pre-production for in terms of your documentary. We want to hear from the sisters today, the women. Go ahead.
Thank you, Courtney. I appreciate that. So my name is Bukola. I'm a writer and filmmaker. I'm currently working on a documentary film about language and communication in the criminal justice system. So we launched our crowdfunding page. It's coming to 3 weeks now. So we've got about 12 days left, and so far so good. So that's why I'm here to talk to you guys.
Okay, let's do that. Can you put a link in the comment section so where people can go and look at the crowdfunding where we can go and patronize and even donate our funds towards what you want to do. Because I know a bit about your documentary that you're putting together, and I know it's powerful. It's going to be powerful. It's going to be educating us about the law, our human rights, especially with all of what's been going on now. You know, people to be vaccinated, mandatory vaccines, not mandatory, legislative law, stop and search. There's a lot of things that we need to know about, and I know that your documentary is going to be highlighting that. Big up, official.
So I would definitely, sorry, Courtney, I'll definitely clear that up, and I'll clear up exactly what the documentary is looking into and what the research I've done, I've found in the research that I've done. First of all, the crowdfunding page is my profile. I've made it public. So if you go to my profile, it's in the bio. So I don't know if it's worth me copying and pasting, or if,
put it in the comment section so that we can go and have a look. Yeah.
Then so I'll do that, and if you guys can also, please, 1 second, I'll just do it on my phone so I don't come off the live on the tablet.
You can do it after we finish talking if you want. We don't have to do it right now.
All right, I think I'll be comfortable doing it.
Yeah. Post it up on the thing.
In the meantime, if you were to go over to my profile, the link to the crowdfunding page, which gives much more information about the documentary, is in my bio.
Okay, your profile's where, on Instagram?
Yes.
Right, so if we go to Bukola.
Becoming Bukola.
Huh?
So Becoming Bukola. So
Bukola.
It should just be right beside your name along the top. Becoming _. Bukola. So yes, about the documentary film, I will tell you guys a little bit about it, because I actually started this research, the research into language and communication in the justice system. I started it in 2015. And when I started this research, it was based on the fact that I had experienced the justice system myself. So when I was younger, first time I was arrested was 14. And the last time I was arrested for a serious offense was 16. And my experience going through, the court procedures and communicating with solicitor and other members of the law, I've really struggled to understand and to communicate effectively with them. So years after I experienced this, I was involved with a charity called Kids Company, who at the time I was doing a lot of documenting because I'm a filmmaker. Oh, okay, that's great. So I was actually a service user when I was younger, and then they helped me set up my production company. What year? So, I mean, when I was younger, so I'm talking about from the years 2006 up until shortly before they closed. So the company shut down in 2015.
Okay, all right.
So shortly after, so as soon as the company shut down, that's when I started my research into the criminal justice system. So Kids Company helped me set up my company. They gave me a lot of resources. They gave me the space, introduced me to specialists and experts in the field, in the film production field. And through that, I managed to set up my production company. And after unfortunately, the closure of the charity Kids Company, there was a few people that I had met. There was a few people that I had met from Kids Company. They were intermediaries for justice. So Kids Company, they had a lot of specialists on their books. They had speech and language therapists. They had intermediaries, because a lot of the clients, because they really helped them with any of their issues, whether it was housing, health. There was a lot of experts there that could help people through court and any legal proceedings. So so those intermediaries asked me to come along to some conferences to speak about my experience. And when I attended these conferences, I heard from several members of the law talking about how the language of the law is very complex and it's outdated and put in a way where it's difficult for people to understand. They spoke very deeply about the problems of the justice system. And that was from the side of people that work within the remits of the law. So So when I heard from them and I knew myself that this is a problem within my community, a lot of people don't understand, but people expect that that's the expectation, that's what they go to court and they expect to leave court and be discombobulated and not understand the language that's used, but it's their lives that's on the line or the lives of their loved ones. And the least that the justice system can do is make the necessary provisions for people to understand. For example, if somebody doesn't have English as their first language and they struggle to communicate effectively, the least the justice system can do is provide interpretation for that person. There's a lot of cuts when it comes to interpretation, and a lot of people do not get interpreters in court. And courts,
people that have autism or people that have difficulty
and
with
mental health is another thing. That's language. That's a very language is a very obvious barrier. But another barrier that's not so obvious is mental health. You won't see somebody's mental health when you look at them, but they may struggle to understand based on the difficulties that they have with their health or communication. And not just that. Barristers say that the onus is on the solicitor to make sure the defendants, victims and witnesses understand what's going on in the justice system. That's what the barrister says, whereas the barrister is the person that's communicating with the judge and the prosecution during a trial.
Excuse me.
Solicitors are not experts when it comes to mental health, but solicitors will not get the necessary people involved with the client or defendant at the point that they need to, whether that be prior to court, so a level of understanding is established, or during court, so that they understand as the court is moving very fast as it does, using very heavy legal jargon. So the documentary I'm looking into is basically, I've decided to focus, because when I did this documentary the first time round, this is actually a remake. When I did it the first time round, I went around and I filmed a lot of legal professionals and I heard from them. I didn't really sit down with people like myself that had been through the justice system.
Me too. Been through it.
And we leave the justice system very traumatized after what's happened. And there's no aftermath care, support, or even to check up on us to make sure we understand what has happened through the process, whether it's someone's left with a conviction or not. If somebody's been given a custody sentence, was that person's family and loved ones properly informed of what's happened and what options they have in regards to appealing, so on and so forth. Communication in the justice system is very, very limited, and it's mostly based on how much somebody knows. But most of us didn't study law to know what our rights are or what stance we have in the court. And the solicitor,
I'm going to just cut in real quick. Let me cut in. Sorry, I'm going to just cut in real quick. I'm tying it in with everything that's been going on around the world in the media, I should say, because they don't just report news. Media creates news. So with what you're saying, sis, is so on point. So on point. Big up Brixton Street Wear. Big up Asia. We're going to bring you in real soon. We're just joined by Bukola, filmmaker and writer. He's got a documentary coming out which wants to educate us, the youth, the people, about the legal system. Today is Mother's Day. Every day, yesterday and tomorrow is Mother's Day. Every day is Women's Day, International Women's Day, International Women's Week, month, year, all the time. So we're bigging up all the sisters, all the women. So what's been happening in terms of what's been going on with Meghan Markle, with the young lady that was found, sadly she was found, remains were found this week. So we're talking about the legal system, we're talking about, for example, racism. A lot of people don't know racism legally is a crime.
Hate crime, of course. Yes, it's a hate crime.
But the thing is, a lot of people don't understand, and this is no disrespect to white people, but when it comes to racism, they're going to need to sit down and take a back seat and stop telling us what this is racist, that's not racist, that's not racist, this is racist. All of my white friends and colleagues, you're going to need to sit down and listen, because those who feel it know it. And what would I look like as a man trying to advocate for women, yeah, and say I have the monopoly of knowledge of what women go through, what women feel, yeah, what they go through, how unsafe they feel in society? What does it look like a man speaking on the behalf of women?
You are not a woman.
Arrogating, not that I can't speak for women, but arrogating that I know all. I'm not best qualified to speak for women. Women are best qualified to speak for women. Yeah? Jewish people are best qualified to speak for Jewish people. The Asian community, and so on and so forth. So white people need to sit down. When it comes to, without being disrespectful, they're going to need to sit down and listen to black people who have been victims of the Holocaust, known as racism, to this very day.
Yes.
So I'm so happy to hear that you, sister, are putting this documentary together in this time when we need it more than ever now. Lawful rights, human rights are more needed. So I'm happy, and I want us to go and patronize your page, your GoFundMe, so we can see documentaries like this. We don't have to wait for anyone to come and see it happen. We will make it happen. We're going to make that happen.
Can I just make a point, please? Can I make a point? Because as a filmmaker, the research is one thing. A lot of people do research, and it depends on whether they actually take that research somewhere. In a research, you find problems and you try to find a solution to that problem. In this research, I have found no solution. Oh, sorry.
You're not driving.
No, I'm not driving, but I thought I was leaning on the horn, but it wasn't me. So
you're parked safe though. You're all right. You're good. Yeah.
Yes, I'm parked. I'm pulled up. I'm all good. Thank you. Thank you for checking. So in this research, I found that legal professionals say that even they who have studied the law, sometimes they don't understand what's going on. They can't keep up with the pace of the courts. And then I have people, whether that be defendants, victims, and witnesses, I have them also, I've interviewed them, and they've also said they don't understand the language used in court. And when they've left the court, they've then had to ask their solicitor to give them a summary of what's happened. But then it's in the courts that they had a chance to pull their solicitor up on any information that wasn't correct. That chance is gone. This is a big problem. So the fact that this can lead, all right then, I have to be very careful with my words, because I've had conversations with legal professionals and I've said this is a miscarriage of justice, and they've said no, it's not. A miscarriage of justice is very clear when, for example, if police has planted evidence and used that evidence in court or something like that. But a miscarriage of justice, exactly, perverting the course of justice. But a miscarriage of justice is not just tangible. This is what I've explained to people in the past. It's not just what you can see, it's also what you cannot see. And somebody that doesn't understand what's going on with them in a court that can potentially get custody time for something that they don't know how to communicate their involvement in properly, or they don't trust their solicitor. So they haven't exactly told their solicitor their stance or their position in order for them to defend them effectively. There are so many problems, and there are so many layers when it comes to these problems in the justice system. So I'm a baby in the game, so I have to be very careful and take it step by step. And I thought, all right, then focus on the language. People need to understand first and foremost, and the justice system needs to be able to at least consider their faults with the complex legal words that they use, because it starts from, when we talk about the criminal justice system, I'm focusing on court, but then as you mentioned, we have common rights with the police. That's where it starts. Sorry, common law with the police. That's where it starts, where you communicate with the police, and if you don't communicate properly with the police at that point, that situation can then lead to court, which can then lead to you being in prison. So it all comes back to how you communicate and what you know how to communicate. And then also ensuring, if you don't know your rights, how would you know whether the police are abusing their rights and their power,
which they do all the time,
in pursuit of their aims, which is to arrest for a crime or whatever it may be. And then in court, how do you know that the courts will really, achieve true justice? If you don't know how to communicate effectively with your solicitor? We have to be able to trust these systems. And there's a lack of trust. So by understanding the problem and presenting it to them, that's a start at least, and that's where I'm coming in.
Sorry, sister, because I'm trying to crush everything in because I got a few other guests to bring on, and I want. So this is what your documentary, in conclusion, as we move on. So your documentary is going to be giving insight into how we can use language properly, and I understand the term legalese. People need to get to understand the language of the Law Society is legalese. Like even the term understand means I consent or I stand under your jurisdiction. A lot of people don't. When I was running a course with some young people this week, I was telling them the first thing you need to understand is, first and foremost, common law rights, which is if you ever get stopped and searched by the police. The old stop and search advice, I don't even do that. No, that's what you want to do is record first.
Yes,
secondly,
certainly.
you want to also, if they ask, look, I'm going to stop and search you.
I obliged to.
Even before you get to that, you get to that. Because when you stop to that, the police constable will say, well, you look suspicious. You look like you fit the description of someone that was down the road that was wearing a hoodie like you. So we're going to do section, so on and so forth, to stop and search. Yes. The first thing the young people, and I'll share it with these young people, is that you got to first ask for proof of claim. Proof of claim. That's the first thing you got to ask the police. Do you have proof of claim? And they're supposed to say yes or no. If they say yes, they can get themselves in trouble. Secondly, proof of authority, meaning jurisdiction. Or as you said, am I lawfully obliged to give you my name? Young people, you don't have to give your name. Everyone, you don't have to give your name or anything. Never give your name. Number one thing, you've got to remain lawful. But you know what? I'm not going to go into all of that now. We're going to do that on another day because time is of the essence. But sister, just quickly and briefly, tell us your handle so we can come follow you, so we can come and read more about the synopsis, so we can fund this endeavor that's going to educate young people.
All right, then. So you can find me at becoming, BECOMING _Bukola. That's my name. My name is Bukola. So you can.
Bukola, say that with the Nigerian. Come on now.
Bukola.
No. Bukola. Hey!
Courtney, take it easy, man. You know that emphasis. I love that name, Bukola. What does it mean? Emphasis in my name, but yes. What did you say? Sorry.
What's your name mean, sister?
So my full name is actually Oluwa Bukola, and that means God adds more to my wealth.
Come on. Come on, sister.
Thank you. So yes, that's where you can find me. The link to the crowdfunding pages in my bio. You'll find a video there with myself and the rest of my crew. I'm giving you more information about the documentary film, and there's also a brief description that that also has a synopsis, so you can find everything there. And by all means, if you guys have any questions, or if yourself have been through the justice system and something similar has happened to you, where you know a major miscarriage of justice has been carried out, send me a DM, get in touch, talk to me.
You know, you got my support. You got the Black Film Institute support. You got Black Car Speakers Lounge support. We can do this. So, how much are you looking to raise finally?
3,900. When I checked it last, it was 2,203, and we have 12 days left to raise the remaining.
So you've raised over 2,000, and you got about 800 to go.
So it's 3,900 is the total. So we have about 1,900 to go.
Oh, wicked!
So 1,700. Yeah. Definitely. I am so positive.
Come
so guys,
on.
By all means, please
I'll put my money in that. Come on. Yeah. Yeah.
Thank you. Yeah. Share it if you can. Donate whatever capacity you're able to. It's going to go a long way. This is the beginning of something great.
Awesome.
Thank you so much.
All right, sister. So here what? Yeah, we're gonna bring you back on before the end date is before it expires in terms of the actual before the actual expiration of the GoFundMe crowdfunding. And yes, I can't wait to see this documentary. It's going to be awesome.
Thank you so much.
Thank you, sister. And just keep us up to date. And please go in the comment section so you can type in the link that we can go on there and patronize. Yeah,
I certainly will do. Definitely.
Thank you for giving us your time, sister. We're always there.
Thank you for giving me the space.
Lift each other up, you know what I mean?
The time, Courtney. It's my pleasure. Thank you so much.
All the time. Happy Mother's Day, Queen.
Oh, thank you. And happy Mother's Day to the women in your family as well.
Oh, thank you. Receive. Amen.
Right,
thank you. God bless you.
Have a blessed one. I'm going to stay tuned. I'm still going to keep watching.
Yeah, man. Post up the thing on the comment section as well, yeah?
Certainly will do.
All
All
right,
right.
darling.
Have a blessed Sunday.
Yeah, you too. Love. So yes, people, that was Bukola, who's doing a magnificent, awesome job creating content. That's what we need. We're not just about it, like talking it. We're about it. We're walking it. So this is how we protect our women. We're talking about protecting our women now with what's going on. We protect them by supporting them. That's what we do, brothers and sisters. We protect women by supporting them. White, black, younger, that's how we do it. Okay, so our subject matter is, what is racism? What is racism? Yeah? Racism, yeah? We go to the dictionary. Jeez. Racism is prejudice. Racism is discrimination. It's antagonism by an individual, community, or an institution against a person or people on the basis of their membership of a particular racial or ethnic group, typically one that is minority or marginalized. The belief that different races possesses distinct characteristics, abilities, and qualities, especially to distinguish them as inferior or superior one to the other. Yo, I'm telling you, that's what we've been suffering with for 400 years. Ever since our ancestors were enslaved, not slaves, enslaved, we have been subjected to what is called white supremacy and black inferiority. And that has created a society and a system of unfairness, inequality, and racism. Racism, I'm going to put a question out there. Do you think racism is just down to the fact that somebody calls you a name? Can black people, another question, can black people be racist? Have we been racist? And guys, I know this is very uncomfortable for a lot of us to deal with, but at the end of the day, we have to get uncomfortable. We have to stop being comfortable and get uncomfortable. That's the only way we're going to heal our society. So I know a lot of us were watching the Meghan Markle and Harry documentary last week hosted by Oprah. And you know what? I wasn't surprised. Is there racism in the royal family? Hell yes. And that's a claim that you can prove historically. And I'm going to tell you the truth. All I can do is tell you the truth. Look, I can just tell you the truth. Harry is also guilty of racism. When you check out the history of what Harry was doing, fancy dress party, getting my words mixed up. Fancy dress party, he was with a swastika on his arm. When he was in the military, he called someone, he used the derogatory term, Paki. So Harry's been guilty of racism as well. And a lot of you think, no, he's not racist, he's married to a black woman. Well, if we look at history, white men have a history of marrying black women in slavery, not for the purposes of love, but for other purposes. So don't be fooled by the fact that you see two people together in society of different cultures and colors, that now racism is dissipated. It's going to take more than that. I'm sorry, guys, to spoil your fantasy on, oh, Harry, he's the good one in the royal family. Yeah, he might be the good one out of the rest, but that whole family is built on racism. The whole monarchy is built on racism. I had a debate this week with someone. They're telling me I don't know nothing about the royal family. The royal family is German. And not all Germans are Nazis, no. But the royal family in particular, has German ancestry, which had white supremacist values. In fact, I think it was King George that met up with Adolf Hitler. And it was in 1933 that Queen Elizabeth II and the Queen Mother at that time were throwing up Nazi salutes. And it was captured in the newspaper. So yes, the royal family is racist. The monarchy, their wealth, commonwealth, is based off the blood and the backs of people of color. So that's without question. Why are we surprised by that? The history is there. And they were even called the Windsors. They were called Golba, Saxe, Gotha, which is a German name. Golba, Saxe, Gotha. And it doesn't mean Germans are racist. I'm talking about the affiliation with the ideals. So we shouldn't be surprised if Meghan has gone through a lot of stuff. That's it. Saxo Coburg, that's it. That's it, my pronunciation. Thank you for helping me with my German. That's right. So you know what, Sweatstorm, let me bring you in, bro. and then I'm going to bring in Asia. We're talking about what is racism? How do we protect women? We just had Bukola on talking about a documentary, how she wants to educate. Women are the educators today. Without women, you only educate an individual, but women, you educate a nation. Yo, Sweatstorm, what are you saying, brother?
Hey, I'm pretty cool, man. Thanks for having me back on again.
I'm going to ask you quick 5 questions, brother, and it's a pleasure to have you. First question is, can black people be racist?
No. I'll tell you why.
Go ahead.
We lack the financial resources. We don't have any power around the world. You remember, in Africa, the leaders have actually given that power away to the Europeans. Okay, right? Because like you're now having like the Americans having a base in certain parts of Africa. The Chinese are also taken control of Africa financially, including the resources.
But hold on, I'm gonna interrupt you. So if I call a white person, you white so and so, you cracker this, you white milkshake, whatever, you snow, are using all these derogatory terms to put down another individual due to their color. Is that not racism?
It is, but it's also falling to the level of the oppressor.
So then can't black people be racist if we're calling white people out of their name? But yeah, go ahead.
Okay, well, in that case, anybody who is like using, calling a white person, any black person referring to a white person by, a white bee or white so-and-so, they're actually falling to the same level as their oppressor, a racist. Yeah, they've chosen to take on that mindset, which is beneath us. I mean, from what I've understood, we're the type of people who vibrate on a higher level. We look above, we look above prejudice. We approach everything positively. But those who have decided to come down and be bitter because of the oppressor, because of what the oppressor has done to us, yes, it is. Yeah, they are behaving in a racist way, but I don't think that we are.
So what you're saying is racism is a power mechanism. It's a power structure.
It is.
And what you're saying is that black people, because we're not in a position institutionally, economically, politically, or we don't have own institutions like the courts in this land, therefore we can't be racist. Is that what you're saying?
That's what I believe. And what I've understood, like with what Dr. Umar Johnson was saying, in Africa, when the Europeans first came into Africa as visitors, the Africans, they gave them, the white Europeans, a warm welcome, not knowing that that the Europeans had an agenda towards them, and that was to like colonize the Africa for themselves. Remember, the Europeans have also done it with the Asiatic countries, especially like Thailand as well.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay. So what is the solution, briefly, brother? Because I may bring you in later on. What's the solution to dealing with this mindset? Because I believe racism is a mindset. It's a sick mindset that comes from white supremacy, where one believes they're better than the other. What's the solution, in your opinion, to deal with it? And we're talking about Meghan Markle and her having her suicidal thoughts.
Okay. No. Right. First of all, it's about awareness, education, and your first guest, Bukola, becoming Bukola. She's actually doing the right thing by making sure that we know our rights judicially. Yeah, that is one solution. Second solution, basically, is like not just academia, but to gain skills. Yeah, try to find ways to be inventors of new products, etc. Okay.
Right.
Number 2, bring resolution to internal problems between us as black people, because I know that unity. Yeah, because I know that there are pockets, there's certain categories of black people who don't really have any common ground with each other. But as far as I'm concerned, I try to
Yeah.
rise above it. Even, I show like a mutual respect towards any black person. It doesn't matter what background, what part of the world they're from, or what kind of
Yeah.
class. Yeah. You gotta
Yeah.
have that thing called mutual respect. Once you've got that, the unity will kick in by default.
Self-love. So that's what
Yeah.
you're saying. Self-love, unity, overcome our own. Because I absolutely agree with you, brother.
Yeah.
We're gonna keep it moving because I'm gonna try and keep it quiet because I know it's Mothering Sunday. Happy Mother's Day to your mum.
Thank
Big
you.
up
And to
to
yours.
the mums, yeah.
Yeah,
All
man, to
right.
yours as
Thank you
well.
very much. Yeah, man. Thank you very
All right.
much for your pointers
Thank
there,
you.
brother.
Thank you, man. I look
Thank
forward
you.
to seeing the other guests. Thanks, Game, man.
Yes, sir. Stay
All
locked
right.
in. Thank you,
Likewise, man.
beloved.
Will do.
Respect.
All right. Thanks.
That was Sweat Storm. I call him Sweet Storm. Sweat Storm. And today we're talking about racism solutions. We're also talking about hey, you know what? By the way, I want to just say, look, man, R.I.P. to marvelous Marvin Hagler. Marvelous Marvin Hagler. Before I go, I have to make a correction. I have to make a pronunciation correction. As my brother Gary just is Saxe Coburg Goffer. That's the original name of the royal family, not Windsor's. Saxe Coburg Goffer. Yeah, that's the pronunciation. By the way, you do know Prince Philip is not even British. He's Greek. You know, even when you watch The Crown, you see a lot of stuff on there. You see a lot of stuff, and it's very educational, but don't do research other than just watching TV. So that's Saxe Coburg Goffer. Philip was a Greek member of the Greek royal family, is a Greek member of the Greek royal family. Queen Elizabeth and all them lot, they're all German. They're all German. So when you see people, again, no disrespect to other people of other backgrounds, but you don't have the qualifications to come and tell us what is or isn't racism. We are the ones that have suffered it. It's best that you take a back seat and listen to those that have suffered with it. In the meantime, what we need to do as a community is come together, unite, regardless of where you're from, be you South American, be you West Indian, be you from the motherland, be you from Asia. We are all one black people, and we need to unite first to destroy the ugly mind known as white supremacy and black inferiority. Then we can reunite with the rest of the human family with a healthy mindset. You know, we need to obliterate this racist mindset regardless of our skin color. But first, as black people, we need to destroy this inferiority mindset that's causing us to do bleaching and change the color of our eyes and straighten our hair and not love ourselves. We need to love up on ourselves some more. So that's the solution. I like what Sweatstorm was saying. So let's bring in our sister from America. We see you, Kevin Bennett. I'm going to bring you in, my bro. Brother is an awesome therapist and counselor, and he's just come off a serious counseling session with a client. And he's going to join us in the next few minutes. But for now, we're going to bring on our American correspondent. I want to see how the Americans feel about this Meghan Markle thing, this Harry thing, and what's going on, women's rights. And happy Mother's Day to you, gorgeous lady.
Hello.
I don't know if they celebrate Mother's Day in America now in March, but happy Mother's Day to you, gorgeous.
Oh, thank you so much. Happy Mother's Day to all the mothers all over the world.
Good to have you back on.
Thank you.
Tell us briefly, so we're going to keep it as quick and as beautiful, as gorgeous as you, beautiful and succinct as possible, because I want to bring in so many more gorgeous people just like yourself. First and foremost, how are you?
You know, I'm blessed. I actually went to church today for the first time this whole pandemic year, and I have to say that I heard a word that changed my life. It was divine,
Come on.
definitely changed my whole life. Changed my life moving forward, personal life, career life, faith life, everything life. It was all about um, change your perspective to think about how think like the other person. And that not to get off subject of what we're talking about, but it's very pivotal
On point.
to mention this, that it was so intense. And the whole message was that God had such a care for our perspective that he wanted to show us how much he wanted to relate to us by him coming out of the spirit and coming into the flesh, to be in the flesh, to so that he could even understand our human perspective. That's what Jesus did for us. So we have to really, really, really humble ourselves and step out of ourselves and be more approachable in situations. Like, I can't look at my perspective, because perspective is not what you it's not what you're looking at, it's what you see in what you're looking at. And so it's about enhancing and changing our perspective. And today was just a day in my life that was very pivotal, and I needed to hear that word
Amen.
because I needed a breakthrough. So I got it in that, and I'm excited moving forward. And I'm excited to be here with you guys today.
Amen. Amen, sister. We're not going to keep you long, but we're going to keep you strong.
Okay.
And we love that inspiration. You know, I don't know how things are in America, different states opening up, closing up. It's different states, they're wearing masks, not wearing masks. And I want to say, listen, as I was saying, marvelous Marvin Hagler, man, we have to celebrate this brother's life, who we woke up to the sad news that our brother, the boxing legend, Marvin Hagler, this will be a tongue twist, passed away and went on to the ancestors. And a lot of people don't know his actual name. He actually registered his name as Marvelous Marvin Hagler. Never signed a boxing contract in his life. And he passed away in the ICU. And I read an article that from Thomas the Hitman hands, all you boxing fans out there, you know what I'm talking about, said on his Instagram page, alongside with Paul Malaji, who is a former boxer and a commentator, said that Marvin Hagler passed away after taking the vaccine, or as adverse results of the vaccine. People, go and check it out. It's not me saying that. No, it's not an anti-vax. No. Go and check it out. It's on the tabloids that, yeah. So again, we have to be careful with what we're doing, because there are adverse things happening with this vaccine. I can't lie to you, my people. And they haven't even announced it yet officially, but those who are close to him are saying that it was due to adverse him taking the vaccine. I don't know whether it's Pfizer or Moderna, but yeah, anyway. But anyway, sister, RIP to Marvin Hagler. So, sister, what has it been like living in the States? Did you see the Oprah and Meghan and Harry interview?
I did. And I want to say that when Megan is from a neighborhood that's 5 minutes from me, okay, up the hill in Baldwin Hills. It is a Black, middle class, hard-working family community, and right down the hill is the Jays, the Jungles. It's the hood. And so, to know that a girl from right above Crenshaw, straight up saying it like that, a beautiful, Black girl, half breed, grew up.
Half breed?
Yeah, that's that. She's white and Black.
Is that the term they use in America still? They still use that?
Yeah, they use
that. Damn!
So see, these are, it's all a part of the terms, but yeah, so she grew up there, and because of her father being in the film business, and her mother in the medical field, she had advantage of having some other wonderful experiences that weren't necessarily quote unquote hood based. However, she's a beautiful girl, and so I bring that up to say that here's a girl made it from above Crenshaw and is now a part of the royal family, from LA, Crenshaw community, to up in
Sis, I got to pause you
London.
on that. One second. Sorry. Half breed. Is that still a common term in America, though? Seriously. I have to go on it because I'm quite shocked.
Being that we're talking about it, people.
What is the term? Because in England, we use the term mixed race. I mean, back in the day, it was all
Mixed,
mixed, half breed, mixed
yeah,
race.
mulatto
Now it's biracial.
and mulatto. Definitely to use the word
Mulatto, but
mulatto,
hold on. Mulatto is a derogatory term.
but
And
it's
so half breed. Do they
but
still
it's
use that in America? Like,
they
I mean,
do. They do. They do. They do.
half breed.
I have a cousin that's a rapper that goes by half
Yeah, yeah,
breed,
I know him. I
you
know
know.
him.
Yeah,
I
so
mean,
but
mm,
yeah, and I mean
damn.
and he's not a black and white mix, but he's Filipino and Creole Black Irish. So
Okay.
but
But
yeah.
question. So in America, is it true that if you are considered mixed race, if you know mixed race, you're white and black parent, they still see you as a black person? Like a Barack
Yes.
Obama, for
Oh,
example, he's known
listen,
as the first black president.
if you have a drop of black, you are considered black in America and pretty much anywhere else in the world. The
Fact.
difference is there is the very light passing, that passing white, which I'm the darkest in my family, for the most part. And so the other cousins are very, 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 very light. Well, I have different sets of cousins, but I have cousins that are my color. We're about the same color, and then in like my step family, um, I'm like the darkest, and then out of my siblings, I'm the darkest of all my siblings.
I can believe
So,
that.
so
Mm.
there's definitely there's colorism on every level, and there is um, that light skin,
That's what I was going to ask
passing.
you. I was going to
Hmm.
ask you, sis. Is she beautiful, Meghan Markle, beautiful because she's light skinned?
No, she's not beautiful because she's light skinned. That's like saying someone is ugly because they're dark. I mean, that it just is.
But that's a factor in the black
It,
community that
it's
we've had to deal with that.
it's a
Colorism.
completely absurd, derogatory, and completely
Because I'm chocolate, I
dismissive
know I'm
term.
beautiful. I'm handsome.
There you go. You know it. You know it. But no. Uh, she's not beautiful because she's light skinned. She's not beautiful because of any of the exterior things. I would just go by, features, the symmetrics of a person's face, and that's only
Yeah.
speaking exterior. Come on,
She's a
because
good
what
looking woman,
really
though. She is
matters,
fact.
she's a beautiful woman just on the exterior.
Yeah.
I don't know her personally, but I feel like she has substance. I'll say that. I don't know her personally to say that she's such a beautiful person, but I would
So,
say
do you think she was ignorant with all of the stuff in the road? I'm jumping in and out like this, but
that's okay.
forgive me. But do you think that she didn't know nothing about what was going on in the royal family before she signed up to being in the royal family?
Oh, okay.
Like, do you think because you know this whole thing in the black community of the skin complexion, all of that, we know that comes from colonialism, and as my brother said, divide and conquer, light skin versus dark skin, that Willie Lynch kind of thing. We got our own internal racism to deal with, our own black inferiority to deal with in our community. Is you know,
Okay.
you're so right about that.
I have to interject right there.
Go ahead.
You made a point that um, is a great question, flipped even in other areas. You said, do I think that Meghan Markle had any idea or knew for real about what it was like being a part of the royal family? That's like asking what you mentioned earlier in discussion with the gentleman before, when it was or about racism, white people, Caucasian people, European, white,
Yep.
whatever,
Yep.
can they understand us?
Ah.
No, of course not. So of course she couldn't understand the royal family. She wasn't royal. She's royal by the
Ooh,
black
yeah.
African heritage, but she's
Good.
not royal. That's a totally different lifestyle. So no, she went into that as um, the industry, the entertainment industry, and the field of entertainment and being beautiful. There is a form of glam there that prepares us to be amongst the lifestyle of glam and red carpet and being refined and having access to stylists and, having dinner with diplomats around the world and it exposed us to a
Etiquette.
certain level. Exactly. So what that did, her being an actress and being a successful actress prepared her
Mm.
for the polishing of being connected to the royal family, but it is totally different. That is a totally different world. And I think, falling in love with someone, you don't always know who you're going to fall in love with. And I believe they fell in love with each other. And that is a part of what came with being in love with that particular man. And the love was so strong that of course they tried to avoid it. But true love, you can fight it, because they had fights, they went through things, but true love, you cannot fight it. And they had to be together. So that lifestyle was what she had to adjust to. And I think
Right.
it's been very painful because she is a black woman. No matter how light skinned, how pretty, whatever, she is a black woman that
Okay.
gave birth to a black baby
That's right. I was just going to get onto that
in the
because a lot
royal
of people are
family.
very confused. A lot of people are very confused
What they
today
confused
about their
about?
identity.
But that's the thing. What are they confused
People are
about?
confused because they're confused. Oh, well, mixed race people are not black. I keep hearing that retarded argument all over
It's
social
1%.
media.
1%. We
It's,
are a
re-
dominant
it's,
gene.
it's a retarded argument to say mixed race people are not black. That's retarded. It's retarded. I don't care what anyone says. Yeah? Because if you send a mixed race person to Texas or where the KKK is, the KKK will soon enough tell them who they are. Yeah? So mixed race people, black people, people of color are you're a black woman, straight. And
I
she's not
am.
the first black woman in royalty. There was a black woman called Queen
Yes.
Sophie Charlotte
Yes.
via Germany, who was the queen, the grandmother of Queen Victoria. But anyway, if you know your history as a black people, we know we've been royal.
It's so funny.
So
There's a painting of her in the castle. In the movie of Meghan Markle and Prince Harry, the queen, when she met
oh yeah,
the
yeah,
queen
yeah,
for
yeah,
the first time, she showed her the picture. And so, they
yeah.
that's a whole nother that's a
It
whole
is.
nother
I'm gonna get on to another thing with you now, and I'm coming at you, yeah?
Yeah, go ahead, go ahead, go
They
ahead, shoot.
said Meghan Markle said in an interview, Meghan, surname, that someone senior in the royal family, and anyone who can have a guess, someone senior in the royal family on the Oprah interview made the statement about Archie's color.
How dark is
Now,
the baby gonna be?
yeah, now it either was in my book Charles, William, possibly Philip. Could say Elizabeth as well, but boy, it could be Andrew, Andrew, that pedophile. And anyway, Andrew's one. Anyway, that's another subject.
Okay. You know what? I, I may say something that people disagree with here.
Right.
Um, I have two
William,
things.
I think William as well. William.
I have two things to say about it. It really doesn't matter who said it, because what the major point is that they said it about their own blood, that's Harry's child, period, and they were focused on the wrong thing. It's a baby. There's a joy there. It's a beautiful thing. It's a baby. And for one, that's
Mm.
all the focus should have been. It's a baby, and it's a joyous time. And the fact that Harry got married. So that's the focus, that it's the baby. Now,
People are saying it's
on
Kate
the,
said it, Okay,
on,
that's true. Kate could
yeah,
have said it. Kate didn't.
yeah, but that's the thing. I don't know who said it, but I don't think that that's really what's important. I feel like it was very insensitive, and it was disrespectful, and it was taking the shine off of the fact that the family was growing and that there was a new baby, and it was a new boy, a new baby boy coming into the family. Now, this is what I feel like. Um,
Mm.
Actually, Prince Charles had issues with
Mm.
Harry's red hair when
Fact.
he was born. Now, I was this who
That's fact.
I'm sorry I missed your G Wahal. I want to say I was about to
Garrett left
speak
off
on.
yeah.
Yeah, I was going
Mm.
to speak on that. That now we all. Come on, let's keep it real. That may not have been our initial concern in our family, but if one of our children marry into a family of all redheads, it could have been casual conversation that could have been dramatized. Now follow me here. It could have been casual conversation that was dramatized to an extent of, I wonder if they all got red hair and we got brown hair, which one of them is this baby gonna have the red hair?
Hold on.
You kind of
Pause.
see what I'm saying?
Pause. I know what you're saying.
I
Pause.
had
And you know what? Listen, let me tell you something. Redhead, woo! Beautiful. Redheads are beautiful, man. Hey, they're gorgeous. Hey, listen, I'm conscious, I'm woke, but anyway, let me. You know what? The issue with the redhead thing, yeah? I think Prince Charles probably had an issue. This is a thing that's a rumor that's going on for years, and I think everyone knows what I'm about to say. If Charles had an issue, or had an issue with rather with Harry's hair color, is it because does it kind of sink into that rumor that Prince Diana had an affair or a liaison with Major Hewitt Packard? Major Hewitt Packard, not the computer. Basically, a redhead dude who was very close to the royal family, Major Hewitt, I believe his name is. And there's this conspiracy going around, this rumor saying that possibly Harry could be the son, you know, the son of Major Hewitt. I'm sure it is.
Okay,
You know?
so
Have you heard that rumor?
I have not, but I have watched the Princess Diana story, and I've watched several documentaries and interviews. And I will say this, that just in going into her family, there are redheads in her family.
Yeah,
So I feel like that right there is just gossip, and
yeah,
it
yeah.
is, is gossip. And she was very much in
Major Hewitt.
love. She was in
Mm.
love with him, with Charles. She was in love with
Who?
Charles.
Diana.
Yeah, she was in
Yeah, she
love.
was in love with him.
Yeah,
Yeah, yeah.
she was truly in love with him. I mean, and the way that he did her, it really crushed her heart and sent her into a spiral of depression. So I do not see that there was any type of
Wow.
affairs or anything with her.
And the Queen never wanted them to do a DNA test. They didn't want Harry going on Jeremy Kyle and Prince Charles going on our British show, Jeremy Kyle, to do a DNA. You know, like Jerry Springer, where who's the real dad? They go back
Yeah,
and you're like, we're gonna find out who the real dad is and get the
yeah.
DNA,
But
that kind
nobody
of thing.
wants that drama.
Of course, they don't want no drama.
No, no, officials stop the silence. I'm sorry. Yes, she was in love with him. He
I
was
think she
not
was in love with
he
him.
was not in love with her. If you pay
I think
attention,
she was in love.
officials
Yeah,
stop the silence. I have to tell you, that woman was sickly
I
in love
believe.
with him, and she was
She had bulimia.
devastated.
She was vomiting. She was
Yeah.
regurgitating her food.
But he wasn't in love with her, and she expressed that when she was pregnant with their first baby, that there was a time there that was the most kind he had ever been, and affectionate with her that he had ever been, from before that to after, their whole life. Like, he was not in
Mm,
love with her at all. He loved Camilla, and that's who he's
that's
married to
right.
now.
That's right. And people, you can see these things in The Crown on Netflix, yeah, but a lot of it is fictional. There's a lot of fiction added towards it, drama and all that, for flavor and for audience, isn't it? Yeah, your next official Stop the Silence,
Yeah,
she has always been bulimic.
yeah,
I do believe that.
she was,
Yeah,
but you also know, when you have a sickness like that, whether it's alcoholism, emotional trauma to bulimia, anytime you are dealing with something that is emotionally putting you through something, it enhances what you're going through. So she was bulimic, and it got worse being in that depressed relationship that she was in.
question, next part. Next part. They never was in favor, the royal family was never in favor of Diana
Oh no.
dating the Muslim who she dated, a man of color. And I do remember this was before she died, murdered, before Diana passed away. She said she has a great announcement to make before the world. And I believe it was my personal belief she was pregnant, that she was going to marry the man that she was dating, Dodi Fayed's son. Remember, he's
Hmm.
a Muslim and he's of color. Two things.
Hmm.
Islam is it's not welcome in the royal family. It's not welcome. It's not welcome. A man of color, not welcome. So there already was an issue there regarding Diana. Diana wanted to get out. She wanted to
Yeah.
get out of that circle. And I do like what Meghan said. She said, look, Prince Charles and William, no, it was Harry that said it. Prince Charles and his brother William are trapped. And if people go back and watch that interview, there's a lot of stuff that you can find that is going on in that royal family. And I'm telling you, there is no doubt about it. Please don't second guess. The royal
Oh,
family is
definitely.
racist. When you define what racism is not you black bastard, you nigger, you this, you that. It's not name calling. Racism is a power structure.
It is a
Racism
power
is
structure.
wealth. It's an institution. Yeah. Racism is not emotional.
It's
It's
not
not
limited.
emotional.
Racism is
It's not
not
emotional.
limited. And
You
it's
know, black people are, oh, racism. It's not emotional. It's literally a concocted machination and systematic in its ordinance. You know,
honey, you cold?
I work. Hold on. Who's worked with Prince? Hold on. Who said they worked with Prince Diana? Well, I worked with a brother who claimed he used to go out. What? Hold on a minute. Let me see. I'm reading in the comments. I worked with a brother who claimed he used to go out. He keeps disappearing. He used to go out with Diana before she met Charles. Yeah, really? But he wasn't allowed to marry. But he wasn't allowed to marry him. She wasn't allowed to marry. She wasn't allowed to marry him because he was black. Look, people, no doubt, white and black. The royal family is spectacularly racist. And that doesn't mean they're going to say, oi, black bastard. They're not going to do that. Nigger, nigger, get. No, it means the establishment. Yeah, they're thinking. They'll smile with you. They'll shake hands with you. They'll give you a member of the British Empire or the British Empire. And they'll OBEU and all of these things. They'll smile with you. They'll stand with you and take pictures. But it doesn't mean they're not racist. In America, racism is more blatant. And over here, it's a bit more subtle. And I'm glad Americans are seeing the difference of
I
racism.
I feel that things are to a point though now where Meghan Markle could actually really be scared for her life
And I
because
want to say this. Sorry to
she
cut you, Queen. Sorry to cut you, Queen. I want to
that's
big up Tyler Perry for giving them a place. Tyler Perry gave them a place. He gave them a sanctuary and a home. You know,
yes.
brothers came out looking for the woman, the females, you know? Sorry,
Yes.
carry on. Sorry to cut you.
Yes. Okay. So
Sorry, sorry.
the no, it's okay. I was reading one of the comments. So the thing is, um, when when you look at the whole dynamic from, they didn't want the marriage to happen from the gate, but the marriage happened, and I believe it's because of the power of love. Harry loves that woman. He stands by her side no matter what. He loves her, wrong or right. Even if all of this blows up in his face, he has stood by her, and she has come in and changed the whole dynamic of the royal family. He wanted to, he probably always wanted to separate himself from it, but he got with her and separated from the royal family. And I feel like her life could be in danger because of that.
Interesting. Interesting. Is that based off Diana? Diana, you reckon? Or what happened to Diana?
It has a when you have that kind of power, there's a lot of things that you can do with that kind of power. Y'all, I'm
That's
frying
right.
chicken while I'm doing this. I'm frying chicken.
Oh, yeah. Mama loves to make chicken. What time is it over there?
It's 2 o'clock.
2 o'clock in
Yeah,
the afternoon.
afternoon. Yeah,
2 o'clock? No,
yeah.
hold on. 2 o'clock
It's
p.m.,
2.
right?
Yes,
Okay. And you're in Atlanta? Atlanta?
yes. I'm in
I need to come
Atlanta.
back to Atlanta, man. Damn, I need to get over there, man. I love
Oh
Atlanta. Chocolate,
yes,
isn't
yes. You
it?
gotta you gotta come
Beautiful.
here. Hmm.
It's beautiful. But sister, I'm not going to hold you. I know you're doing motherly duties. Is it Mother's Day in America? Is it?
No, it's Mother's Day here is May 12th. It's on a
Well,
Sunday.
it is Mother's Day. Yes, it is. We're
Hmm.
saying Happy Mother's Day because every day is Mother's Day. Yes,
Every day
my
is
Mother's
Mother's
Day.
Day.
Every day is Mother's Day.
Oh,
So I
your
want to wish
mom
you a
is
Happy
right.
Mother's Day. And
Amen. God bless.
Amen. God bless. Anything that you would like to say, sis? I know I've been pushing you a lot, but it's
Oh,
just that we want to get a
um,
lot more.
I just want to say, that um, there's definitely racism, and there is no limit. Racism is not in a box. Racism is hidden. Racism is exposed and being more exposed on so many levels. But you know, it's one person at a time. That's what I always say. It's one person at a time, one relationship at a time, where we can help break down the infrastructure of racism, and you know, we can build communities together. And on a side note,
Yeah.
you know, I just want everybody to be encouraged and be blessed and live your best life. You know, we're doing some positive things, each one of us one day at a time. Um, and that's it. You keep
That's
doing
right.
what you're doing, Courtney.
Yes, likewise, sis. You know we're gonna hook up. You know how we do,
Of
man. You know how
course.
we do.
Of
Our
course.
American correspondent, chicken from fried chicken, 2 o'clock in the afternoon. Baby. Good friend ain't there, baby. Take some of that chicken with me right now. Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
And it's so funny on a side note talking about racism and like we love chicken. That's what they always say. And I end up frying it right now.
Colonel Sanders owes us money, that teething son of a. Yeah.
Yes,
You owe us some reparations, chicken money now. You better go cover up that check now.
for sure. Well,
For
Courtney, you
sure.
have a
For sure.
beautiful day and happy Mother's Day to your mother.
Thank you. Thank you, sister. We're gonna get you are our USA correspondent. Yeah, I'm letting everyone know this is our correspondent right now.
Lovely.
All the
I'm
way from the A to
grateful.
the L. ATL.
I'm very
Trying to fit it.
grateful.
Really
All
appreciate it.
right.
God bless self. All
Oh,
right, sister. In a bit,
thank
yeah?
you.
We'll be in
Thank
touch.
you.
Thank you.
Okay, bye.
Bye bye. So that was our Queen, Asia De Vargas, all the way in ATL, our USA correspondent. Let me read what's this? Lady Di is from Northampton, and this brother was from Northampton, met her in a nightclub and hit her off and started dating. Woo, in the 70s. Okay. Okay. Wow, that's interesting. I'd like to see more facts on that. Okay, let's bring in Stop the Silence because it's Happy Mother's Day, it's Women's Week, it's Women's Day, it's Women 365. Oh, not that one now. Yeah. Stop the Silence, where you at? You believe that Lady Diana was not in love with Charles. I believe she was. Thank you, sister. Stop the Silence, where you at? Come on now. Where are you? Come on. I said I was going to bring you in. People use your... Oh, there's the Queen.
Hey.
Woo, looking gorgeous. Hey, how you doing? Let's get straight into this, sister, because you know time is of the essence.
Good.
I don't want to push you. Happy Mother's Day to you, to your mother, to all the queens in your family.
Give thanks. Give thanks.
Yes, blessings. So tell us, you think Lady Diana was...
I think there's a delay slightly. I'm not sure.
There is. Are you using data or Wi-Fi?
I'm using Wi-Fi. Maybe I should jump on the data.
Yeah. Data is quicker. It's just Wi-Fi is a bit slow sometimes, you know. Okay, so this is Stop the Silence. They have podcasts, and we are speaking with Stop the Silence, and we're talking about racism. We're talking about Meghan Markle. We're talking about honoring, protecting women, not just black women, but women across the board. By the way, yeah. So hopefully, Stop the Silence will come back in. What I'll do, I might have to jump you in and off again. Oh, you there now? Yes. All right, sis. We've got about 5 to 7 minutes. But yeah, tell us what your points of views on racism, how we can overcome it,
Yeah.
what you thought of the interview, and that point that you made as well. Go ahead, sis.
This is what it is for me, Brother Courtney. I first and foremost, one thing, and I'll give thanks for your forum, and I do catch it when I can, and it's dope, it's real, you know.
Thank you, my God.
But what I want to say is we need to stop the romanticizing of things. This is what really, really winds me up. Now, the whole Harry and Meghan thing.
Yes.
My thing is we're all saying, oh, Meghan has been hard done by and this and that, and being surprised that the royal family, their royal family, because it's not my royal family, their royal family is racist. And for me, why would you not expect them to be? I don't understand it, and I'm never going to understand it. And when people say, well, you know, did Meghan not know, whatever, unless Megan is a damn fool, how will she not know? But here's the thing. This is my issue. I'm a strong believer in you reap what you sow. Megan knew what she was doing. Megan don't like black men. You understand me?
Wow.
I don't play that game. We're all like, oh, poor Megan, poor Megan. Megan can't stand a black man. Megan's mum don't deal with black men. You understand me? They do not like black men. So from you don't like black men, I do not stand on your side. I stand up for the oppression of people, and especially for my people, race first. And racism is very real. But do I stand up for Megan? No, because Megan, you knew what you was getting yourself into. You didn't give a damn who it was as long as it was Harry. Same with Diana. If Diana was to see Charles on the street, she wasn't going to check Charles. But you know you wanted to be heir to the throne. That's why even though you left and they treated you like a dog, you wanted to keep your title. Let's be real about the thing. And this is the problem. We like to romanticize things like we're reading some kind of Sleeping Beauty story, or, you know, Little Red Riding Hood, or whoever meets the prince and marries him. Let's get real. You understand? These people are opportunists. That, you know, Harry could have come and checked me all he want. I'm not about that life. You understand? And I do have colorism, because the darker you are, is the more I love you off. Simple.
Wow, go ahead.
I'm keeping it real.
Yeah.
You know, so
hey, people, I want people to speak their mind and their truth. Go ahead.
It really gets my throat. I don't bite a bar of it.
You're breaking up a little bit. Oh, God.
I think there's a delay, Brother Courtney.
Your reception might not be the best. That's all it is. You're on fire right now with your point of view and your opinions, though. Yeah, we got you now. Change. Okay, can you hear me? Oh, man. Wow. Woo. Sister she was spitting some fire there, boy. And you know what, people? Come with your points of views and your opinions, man. Hey, we're going to bring Sister back on. So basically, Stop the Silence was saying, now we understand why the term Stop the Silence means don't be silent, speak your mind. She was saying that, boy, Meghan Markle don't like black men. And her mom don't like black men. And we should stop romanticizing someone that doesn't like us. Is that correct in people's minds? What do you reckon, people? Very interesting points. Very, very interesting, actually. Very, very interesting. And for me personally, it's bigger than Meghan Markle. It's about a whole establishment that affects a whole community, a whole people. Meghan just so happens to be there, that one there, who is experiencing firsthand what's happening to what we are all going through as black people. Interesting points of view. So we're bringing in Stop the Silence. Yeah, carry on. I want to hear more. She doesn't though. She doesn't though, does she? It seems to me she doesn't. But it's not about Meghan Markle. It's bigger than Meghan Markle. It's about the bigger picture, which is racism, which is a mental, psychotic, psychopathic sickness that's affecting us as black people, as Africans, even white people are affected by racism. We're all the devil. Carry on with your point.
Right.
It's where you are? I would like to give you my points on that subject.
Am I?
Yeah, go ahead. We can hear you.
Brother Courtney, because I think there's still a delay.
Wow, but your points are serious. Is there any other reception? It's a reception issue. Maybe if you was to go somewhere, I don't know what it is.
I don't know what I missed.
Well, basically, just what you were saying is that Meghan's not into black men, so we should stop caring about Meghan Markle.
Am I hear me now?
Yeah, we can hear you.
Well, this is it. Because they cannot stand a black man. which black man have you known Megan to date? Which black man did Megan ever go? Which black man was Megan? Oh wait, let me.
Maybe it will be better. Is your Wi-Fi like strong? Are the bars strong on your Wi-Fi, sis? So yeah, we're with Stop the Silence, just getting things sorted out. Fire though.
Courtney?
Wow. Yes. Yes, beloved.
Oh.
How's your bars? How's the bars? Is the reception cool? That's better, I think. Yeah. The reception is. We gotta get you to complete your points of view though. Very interesting. It's worse.
Courtney?
It's worse. Are you outside? Ooh, we gotta get sister. I tell you what. Get the best reception. Come back on. Get the best reception. Come back on, because what you're saying is hard body. So I have to bring in my guy, Kevin, and we're gonna just do it real quick, people, real quick, because I don't want to abuse people's time. It's Mother's Day. We're talking about racism, the effects of racism. R.I.P. to Marvin Hagler. Big up Bukola, who's doing it. Yes, Mr.
Hey, sorry. No, I was actually doing some work while I was listening to you. Literally, I've got my laptops here and I'm working away, and then I turn around and I see you pop up. That's got caught tripping. That's online caught tripping.
Oh, that's
slipping.
Yeah, brother Kevin. Yes. By the way, Stop the Silence. Do reboot your Wi-Fi. Come back on. We're just with our next guest, Kevin Bennett, psychologist, therapist, counselor, mentor, entrepreneur, businessman. So Stop the Silence. We want you to come back on. Give us 10 minutes, and we're going to bring you back on. Kevin, how you doing, my man?
How you doing? You're right. I'm just working away.
You look like you caught you on the toilet or something.
I was actually in shock. If you see my face, I'm like, what am I doing on the screen? And I've got my headphones in, so I was actually working and listening. And I just so happened to turn around.
Oh, that's funny. So, King, we're going to get straight into it, brother. How you been?
Sure. I'm good. You're right.
You're looking well.
Thank you.
You're looking well. So, brother, today we've just been getting guests on the show. We're talking about this whole Harry and Meghan thing, identifying what racism is and how really other people should be taking a back seat, and we black people should be given the definition of how racism affects us. And, you know, very serious thing that Meghan said on television, during the interview, that she felt suicidal. Now, as I was saying, it's not just about Meghan, it's about us as a community. She represents someone that is from our community. So it's not just about Meghan. It's about what we go through, and she's voicing a truth that we've known for a long time, that the royal family is in fact racist. So it's about how do we overcome that that trauma, you know, that we are suffering with, but also white people suffer with it as well, with having that inordinate perspective of themselves because of their whiteness or their achievements, and they're being cheated of the achievements of black people. How can we heal this from ourselves, from this sickness of black inferiority and white supremacy and racism as a whole? I know it's a loaded question.
It's very loaded. Here's the thing. First and foremost, what is racism? And I think we need to get clarity on what racism is. Because if I'm being totally honest with you, I don't think 8 out of 10 people actually know what racism is, right? Because it's the ist that we've got to look at first and foremost. You've got a psychologist, you've got a pharmacist, you've got a therapist, yeah? You've got a racist. So what is the ist?
Come on.
The ist is the interest of someone's interest, or someone's focus, or someone's work, or someone's direction. Do you understand what I'm saying? So a racist, if you look into it from one angle, is someone who has an interest in their own people.
Wow.
right? So a racist is someone who has an interest in their own people. Now, then it breaks off. It has some branches to it. So that's the core of it. So a racist is not such a bad thing in a sense. Here's where the problem is. And then you've got another side of it as well. And there's a psychological side of it. There's no human being on this planet that can stop the first thing that pops into their mind. You could be standing at the bus stop and someone walks past and it just pops into your mind, I can just push them into the road. You're not a bad person. It's the first thing that pops into your mind you cannot control. But you can control the second thing. You can control the third thing. So someone may be thinking, I don't like black people. It may pop into their mind, for example, right? It may pop into their mind, but it doesn't necessarily mean in that moment they're a bad person. It's what they do with the second thought and the first thought and the third thought and the fourth thought. So here's my point to the next point of it.
Go ahead.
A racist, from my point of view, is someone who has the power to affect another person because of their race.
Say that again. Say that again. Say that again.
A racist, for me,